Hello folks, Kyle here, Dark 30 Outdoors. Welcome back. Thanks for watching. I certainly appreciate that. Today I'm going to do a quick review and or breakdown of my kayak fishing setup. A little bit of background and my paddlecraft fishing and why I chose this particular kayak. I've had it just over a year now. I absolutely love this boat. I've been fishing from paddlecraft to include canoes and kayaks for about 20 years. Okay, I got into it with a canoe 20 years ago. I paddled about 3 different canoes and probably 8 or 9 different kayaks, maybe 10 different kayaks. So I've got some experience. I've paddled SIK, sit-in kayaks. I've fished out of those, and then I've fished out of about 4 different sit-on-top kayaks. This is definitely an awesome kayak. I would refer to this as an intermediate level kayak. I got this one on sale at a big box store for about $630. So that's a really good value. You're getting a sit-on-top kayak with an excellent platform. Some people can stand in this kayak. It's that stable. It's got a super comfortable seat, one of these elevated seats. I'm going to get out here in just a second and show you that. So the value that you get in this kayak, it's unbelievable. So let me go over a few things and then I'll talk about how I set it up and why. Alright, everybody loves to talk about the carry handles on the front and the back. Those are nice. I'm going to get into something that people don't talk about, and that's the hard keel. That helps a little bit with tracking on a short boat. It's got the hard keel in the back as well. And sit-on-top kayaks, really just about any kayak on the market today, you're not going to find them without that. They're all going to have that hard keel, front and back. This one, you do see that that's a replaceable skid plate right there. It's designed so that you can drag this kayak around on that. Let that scrape and scuff the ground, and when that gets tore up, it's got some screws in it and you can replace it. So that is kind of a nice feature. Drain plug, should it get any water in it. Nice big tank well, rear tank well. As others have talked about, these molded in rod holders they're no good. First of all, they're too wide and shallow, so they do not support your rods very well. I sometimes have put a net in there. Another challenge, if you look at how the seat is set up, and those holes, they're directly behind you. You can't hardly reach back. I'll show you real quick. Okay, so here I am. I'm in the kayak. If I want to reach back, if I got a rod in that, there's a rod holder, right? Now I want to get to that rod quickly. Do you see how awkward this is? This is not, I about have to turn around to get that. Oh, by the way, I'm in my driveway. If I'm on the water and I'm trying to lean and do all these things, it's not very convenient at all. That's probably the one drawback to the kayak. Now, it's not outrageously bad for me because I don't keep rods behind me. I don't do a milk crate, as you can see. I pretty much follow the KISS system, right? Keep it simple, stupid. And I'm stupid. So I don't get into elaborate fish finders and batteries and all of those things. I should probably have a mount for this guy. That would probably make my life a whole lot easier. But outside of that, I really like how this boat comes, right out of the factory. The seat, it's got one of these really nice, comfortable vinyl mesh seats, and that's got I can sit in this for hours, 3-4 hours at a time, and I don't get tired or bad back or anything like that. Your butt's not on hard plastic, so I've heard people say it's like sitting in a lawn chair, and that's exactly right. It is exactly like sitting in a lawn chair on a kayak. And this kayak is stable enough that you can put it in the high seat position and you can handle most things. I've taken, 1-foot wave trains with it in the high seat, and I never once felt like I was going to tip. You can drop it down in the low seat. If I did rough water like the New River or something like that, I might drop it down to the low seat. But for most fishing applications, I just keep it in the higher seat position, and that works just fine. I've got one rod holder, and you see that I've got it set up so that my rod goes horizontal to the boat and straight out in front of me. I fish a lot of small creeks and rivers. If you fish flat water and you get up close to the bank and there's a lot of overhanging trees, that's a great way to set up your rod so that you can see it. So if it is approaching harm's way, you can see that, you know that. You got rods stored back behind you, you can forget about them and go under. I've watched people go under trees overhanging a river. The current takes them under there, and next thing you know, their rod is snagged in a tree. So keeping your rods, if you're going to store it in a rod holder, having it horizontal to the boat and straight out in front of you, that keeps it out of most of harm's way if you're floating, flowing water, creeks and rivers. And then I keep my tackle up in front of me. I find when I'm on the water, it's much easier to get to my tackle, to my lures and my baits. And there is one hole in that front tank well, and I keep a scupper in that because I don't want water to come up through there and get my tackle bag wet. It would get my tackle and stuff wet, and that's no good. So I keep a scupper in there. If I get water over the top, I can reach in there, lift that up, the water drains right out, and it's perfectly fine. I keep those in there, emergency toilet paper. Everybody needs some of that, right? So, let's see, what else? Particular to my setup, it does have a simple bungee style paddle leash. Okay folks, there you go. You can see the paddle on there. The paddle's nothing special. It's a nice lightweight fiberglass blank, and it works really well for me. And you see it's got that little bungee to hook your paddle in. I generally only use this when I am beaching and getting in or getting out for like a little break for a snack or lunch on the shore. And I love that because I can just secure it real quick after I've beached it. It's out of my way. I don't got to worry about it going anywhere, and I can easily step off the boat. That works fantastic. The boat came with that. I didn't add any modifications to this really, other than I put this rod holder on the gear track. It does have those. If you can see that, it's got those gear tracks on both sides, and so that gives you some flexibility to mount some things there on the side. I will usually my dry box. I'll clip that into that little eyelet right there. It does have the adjustable seat pegs. People have complained that they seem pretty loose, but mine, I've set them and forget them, so that's not a problem at all. It does have a storage hatch right here. You see this? I'm not going to open that up. It's just dark inside there. It's not going to reveal much, but you see a little piece of plastic here. That's my dry bag, and so I've got it secured in there so that that's not wandering about inside the boat. Should I need my dry bag, it's right there. As soon as I pop that lid off, my dry bag's right there. Very easily accessible. So yeah, I think I did the slow-mo on this on one of my other videos. I might as well do it again, huh? So that's the Pescador Pro 100. That's about it as far as my setup. So that's my fishing setup. I got one rod is in my hand, the other one is in that rod holder. Got my paddle in my lap. If I have to set a rod down, I just set it right there in front of me. Grab the paddle, do a little paddling, drop the paddle, and pick up the rod. If I need to switch rods, this one will go in the rod holder, and I'll take the other one out. It's a pretty basic and simple setup, but it works really, really well for me. I like it. that's a breakdown of my kayak. If you have any questions, be sure and include those in the comments down below. And I hope you hit the like button and the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more videos. I'm gonna get this thing wet in about 4 days, and I'm looking forward to that trip. So stay tuned.